Hi, we're going to work on the medal table APT. Probably won't take it all the way through to all green, but we'll make sure that all the requisite steps for getting an all green solution are something that are more clear than they might be when you first read the problem statement. So let's take a quick look. As always, you should review it in more depth before you begin it. I have a cat who's going to be joining me for this session. So the first thing we need to do is look at an example to make sure we understand how it works. And we can see that the input is a list of strings, and they're in the format gold medal winner, silver medal winner, bronze medal winner, gold, silver, bronze, gold, silver, bronze. And what we need to do is create a sorted list where the sorting happens based on whoever has the most gold medals is listed first. If you're tied for gold, then silver breaks the tie. If you're tied for silver, then bronze breaks the tie. And if you're tied for all medals, alphabetical order by country name. So there are kind of two parts to this. One is to parse through this data to make sure that we can find out the number of gold, silver, and bronze medals that each country has. And then there's the sorting part. So we're going to treat those separately. First, verify that we can get the data of bronze, silver, and gold medals, and then we'll worry about the sorting second. Usually, it's a great idea to know completely how you're going to solve the problem, but sometimes it makes sense to get one part of the problem working and then concentrate on the other part. So I'm going to work first on getting the data so that we know which countries have which medals, and then we'll also worry about the sorting. So as always, I know that I'm going to need a module or file named medaltable.py. It has camel case of capital M, capital T. And I'm going to copy this so that when I go into my medal table and bring over the PyCharm, I'm ready to go. So here we are in PyCharm, and I need to make a new Python file. It's called medal table. And I'm going to put that result there. Also, I think it's much better to test locally before we go to the APT tester. So I'm going to go back to the examples, and I'm going to take this example and make sure that we can process this into some format. So I'm going to come in here and say data is that list. I'm going to call the answer, which is the result of generating the response, and then I'm going to print it. So I am going to run this to make sure it works. And we can see that it printed an empty list, which isn't surprising because that's what my method returns, where it says you write code here. So now I'm going to try to think about how do I determine from this list, Italy wins gold, Japan wins silver, Austria wins bronze, Korea wins gold, Taipei wins silver, Ukraine wins bronze. So I know I'm going to need a dictionary that's going to keep track of for each country the total number of medals it has, gold and silver and bronze. So I'm going to make a note here that I'm going to need a dictionary, and then I'm going to sort that dictionary. That's the two stages of this solution. Create the dictionary and then sort the dictionary. So I'm going to get it by using a helper method that I pass results to. And that's going to be the dictionary that I'm going to use to sort. Now, I don't have a helper method, but luckily PyCharm will create one for me. I hope it will anyway. There's a little red thing there. It says create function helper. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to make a note that results is a list of strings like gold, silver, bronze. And I'm going to return dictionary. Key is country name. And value is list G, silver, bronze of ints. So this is a whole long list. Let's just remind ourselves what it looks like. A list of strings. I'm going to have to process each of these lists, but in each list, I'm going to have to break the things apart into gold, silver, bronze, gold, silver, bronze. So up here, I'm going to say for each, well, I know I'm going to need a dictionary, so I better start with that. And I'm going to return that dictionary. and I'm going to need to loop over each element of results. And I'm reminding myself that what that is a list. Well, it's not a list, it's a single string of gold, silver, and bronze. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to break that into its constituent pieces of gold, silver, and bronze. I'm going to call it GSB, is each dot split. That's now a list. I'm going to make a note. List of gold, silver, bronze strings. So I'm going to have to access each one of those, but they're each different because this is gold, this is silver, and this is bronze. So I thought about doing this in a loop because I need to loop over all the elements of GSB. But the first time through my loop, I'm getting the gold. And the second time through my loop, I'm getting the silver. And then I'm getting the bronze. So rather than looping, I'm just going to say the gold is the first element, the silver is the second element, and the bronze is the third element. The elements whose index are 0 for gold, 1 for silver, and 2 for bronze. And then I'm going to have to say, wow, each of these is a key in the dictionary, potentially, because each of those is a country name. So if G is not in D, I am going to put it there with no gold, no silver, no bronze. And then I'm going to say D sub G sub 0 plus gets 1. I'm going to need to do this for the silver too. So if I've never seen the country, it has no gold, no silver, and no bronze. But after that, I know I'm going to need to update the number of gold medal winners. I'm just going to repeat this code. Normally, repeating code makes me unhappy, but I don't know an easier way to do this, and I'm just trying to solve the problem simply first. And then I'm going to say the list associated with D sub S, I need to update the number of silver medals. And then I'm going to have to repeat that again by saying if bronze is not in the dictionary, I'm going to need to say D sub bronze is 0, 0, 0. And then I'm going to need to update the number of bronze medal wins. So D sub B sub 2 plus gets 1. Now, I'm going to look to make sure because that's an awful lot of repeated code. This is a list of gold, silver, and bronze strings as a reminder, like this one, Italy, Japan, Austria. So I've got the gold, the silver, the bronze, 0, 1, 2. Notice I didn't copy paste, I typed because I'm wary of copying and pasting where I might forget to change something. If I haven't seen the gold medal country, zeros. If I haven't seen the silver medal country, zeros. If I haven't seen the bronze medal country, zeros. Now I'm going to say update the gold, update the silver, update the bronze. Those are different values in the value that's associated with each key, gold, silver, bronze. So my helper method's done. I've gotten the results, and I'm just going to return that. I'm going to return a list of d.items and just see what I get when I run it. Indentation does not match outer indentation. So it looks like my return got off there. Let me run it again. And it looks like I've got Italy with 1 gold medal, Japan with 1 silver medal, Austria with 1 bronze medal. Now this is looking good because I see Korea 310. And if I look at the output, I see Korea 310. That makes me think I'm kind of on track. And look, there's Italy with 100, and here's Italy with 100. So my dictionary looks like it's in the right format. That's the first step. Now I need to figure out how to sort these elements. And I need to sort them by gold, silver, and bronze. And then I need to break ties by country name. I'm thinking in my head, when I'm sorting, I want the most number of gold medals first. That seems to me like I'm going to reverse the sort, because normally you go sorting low to high, but I want the most gold medals to come first. And the most gold medals are the first element of that list. So that's what I'm going to have to do. I've got this here. Now, what's going to end up being problematic, I think, is breaking the ties by alphabetical country. First, I'm just going to do with gold, silver, bronze and see if I can get that right. So what I'm going to do is I want to sort by that tuple. And what I see here is I have a tuple, and this is actually a list. So I want to sort each tuple by that. So I know that I can use a lambda function to do that. And so what I'm going to say is I want to say S is the sorted version of d.items. And remember, d.items is these tuples. But I want to sort them based on a key that's just this. I don't want to look at this value right now. I just want to sort on gold, silver, and bronze. So I'm going to create a tuple. And this is going to be a little tricky. So what tuple do I want? I want this value, which is the second value in d.items. Look at when I printed it. This is a tuple. This is the 0th number whose index is 0. This is the index 1. So I'm just going to take index 1 here and say, let's reverse it. And I'm going to return that and see what it looks like. I'll tell you what I'm doing, and d.items is that. Okay, so what happened there, I've got Korea 310, Italy 100. Let me look back here. Korea, Italy, Taipei. This is looking pretty good. Oh no, I've got Japan and then China. And I can see why those are out of order because they each have one silver medal, and I didn't break ties by country. So let me just review what I did there. I sorted the tuples in d.item. Those are tuples. I sorted them by the second element, the element whose index is 0. That is this list. And if you sort by a list, it's just like sorting by a tuple. It uses the first element, and then the second element, and then the third element. So sorting by the list is just the same as sorting by gold, then silver, then bronze, because they all have the same format. Now, I actually need to turn this into a string. So I'm going to turn this into a string by reviewing what the format is supposed to be. And let me see, I have country name and then gold, silver, bronze. So I'm just going to create the string to return here. And I'm going to do that by saying, I have an empty string. I'm going to loop over each element in S. And I'm just reminding myself as I do that, that is a tuple because I printed it, and you can see each of those is a tuple. And the first thing is, oh no, wait, I forgot. What is this returning? It's returning a list of strings. So I need to create a list. That's what I originally had. And return the list. But the string is what I'm going to add. So I'm going to say A is each sub 0, that's the country name. I'm looking down here, the country name, and then a space, and then the number of gold medals, and then a space, and then the number of silver medals, and then a space, and then the number of bronze medals, and that's it. And I'm going to add that to my list. Let's see what that does. Must be stir, not int. Oh, I can't add an integer to a string. So I'm going to need to turn each of these integer values into a string. That's an error I often forget. You can't add integers in strings. So let's do that and run it and see what happens. Now I've got a list. Korea 310, Italy 100. This is looking pretty good. The problem is I didn't break those ties. But because I'm a little interested in how this is going to work, I'm just going to see if I can get any green with this. So I'm going to use medaltable. I'm going to test it and run it. Oh, I already know what that's going to mean. I'm going to have to do it again. I got 11 out of 36. I failed a lot, but I have some. And we already know the reason that I get these wrong, like this one's an easy one. They all have 1, 1, 1. All 1 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze. But they're breaking ties by alphabetical. And that's just going to be kind of tricky to do using a lambda expression. So what I'd like to do is remind myself, what did this look like before I sorted it? Because I already forgot, and there's no reason I can't just print it. And we see here, it's a dictionary in which the countries are the keys. So and that's what I sort is those items, d.items. So I have this notion that if I make a first pass, alphabetical by country, I'm going to call alpha C is sorted d.items, and I'm going to print that. I just want to notice, what did I do? I took alpha C as a variable name because it's alphabetical sorted by countries, and I just sorted the tuples in d.items, and look what I got. Austria, China, Great Britain, Italy. They're all sorted by countries. Why? Because when you sort a tuple, you sort by the first element of that tuple. And the first element of the tuple in d.items is, in fact, the country name. Now, notice down here, what happened with Japan and China? I got Japan first because Japan was first in my list. And sorts are stable, so they preserve the original order. So all I'm going to do is change that from d.items to alpha C. Now when I run it, I just want to notice what happened down here. Korea, Italy, Taipei, and then China first, and then Japan. And if I look at the output of what I'm supposed to get in medaltable, it was China first, and then Japan. And then breaking the ties among Austria, Great Britain, and the Ukraine, all of which have a bronze medal, I have that here. Austria, Great Britain, and the Ukraine. Why did that happen? Because first I sorted everything by the country name. So then when I did my final sort, things that were equal, meaning they had the same number of gold, silver, and bronze, ties were broken by the original order. And the original order was already sorted by country. So I'm pretty confident that will be all green. I urge you to give it a shot.